Welcome back to Brilliant Fishing. Today we're going to talk about some easy, local, kid-friendly opportunities to get out and to catch some trout in the Piedmont of North Carolina. So if you're thinking mountain trout, you have to travel a long way from the Piedmont. You got to get way up into those streams to catch them. Normally that's true, but North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission is stocking their overage of stocker trout. They're going to be putting those in different ponds and reservoirs, beginning up in the mountains and going all the way down into the Piedmont. So we're going to get some trout in Rowan County, Cabarrus County. It's several counties down in the Piedmont where trout normally are not stocked because of the overage, because of the cold weather conditions. They're going to stock those, and you can get out with your kids and you can catch them. So we're going to talk about the when, the where, the how, and all of that. So as you can see on the screen in front of you, this type of fishing is going to be available without any restrictions, hardly of any kind. 7 trout creel limit per day per person. So you can keep 7 trout per day, no minimum length. You can catch any trout, you keep any trout that you catch. No closed season. As long as those fish are there, you can catch them. Do need a regular fishing license. Do not need a trout stamp. You can catch them with any type of bait. So you can use worms, you can use artificial, you can use corn, crappie nibbles, any of those things that you want to use. All right, so if you look at your screen, here's a list of the places where these trout are going to be stocked. And you can see alphabetical order. They're stocking many of these trout like right now. Matter of fact, as we're recording this today, they're stocking in Vance County today. Let's talk about what you need to catch these trout. Again, since there are no bait restrictions, you can use something very simple. You can literally just go get you a $20 rod and reel combo from Walmart like this. It does not have to be crazy. And just put you a float like this, come down a couple of feet to a hook. You might even could put a split shot here to help sink it. Just put your little piece of worm on here. You're good to go. Trout love worms. If you don't want to deal with worms, you can also bait with kernels of canned corn. A lot of people have success with that. So you can use worms, you can use corn, you can also, get the trout baits, the little scented trout baits. I don't really have a lot of experience with that, but that's something that you can try. So they're pretty voracious feeders, they're scrappy fighters, they're fun to catch, and they are good to eat. A couple other things that you can do if you want to try some artificials for trout. You can do something just like a simple, like a rooster tail, kind of like this. So this is just an old scroungy one I had in my tackle box, but these things are pretty readily available. Any tackle store will have them. They're like $1. I mean, they're not expensive. So you get these. Trout love these. They're flashy. They like that. Another thing you can do is just tie on just a regular jig head. Tip it with like a Gulp minnow. Trout will eat that. You can also use just a variety of different soft plastics or just little jigs like you'd use for crappie. Trout will eat them. Okay, again, they're not super picky. Something I'm a big fan of too is the little teeny tiny little trout magnet jigs. Again, I'll put a link in the description. If you haven't used those work really good on trout. You can either fish them by themselves or under a float like this. You can just come down, tie on that little itty bitty little jig head, and it puts you a trout magnet jig down here. So again, get out there, enjoy this opportunity while it lasts. Warm weather gets here, these trout are not going to be there. So get out, month of December, month of January, got some nice days. Get out there and catch you some trout. Take a kid fishing.